Newsmax is out there. You remember Newsmax? They're like the third biggest cable company in the world now, since they routinely beat Fox News. Anyway, they were covering the inauguration, and they're taking it very serious. Not like objectively serious like a reasonable person would, but serious like a Newsmax viewer would want them to. And here is an example of what that looks like with Donald Trump's final moments as president.
There is no president more aware, Mark, of the optics than maybe John F. Kennedy, our first real television president. And it's interesting you bring up the Village People. So the song came out, YMCA, in 1978. Donald Trump was a young man in 1978, working in real estate in New York with his father. You know, the first line of that song is, "Young man, there's no need to feel down." President Trump had a hand in setting up the events of today, and I'm sure that was a song that he had some fun with back in the late 70s. And even though he will not be the president at noon Eastern today, there is no need to feel down. As he said, I'll be watching, I'll be listening, and I'll be back again in some form. Mark, any thoughts on what that might mean?
I think that's more than enough thoughts about what the choice of YMCA means. I think you didn't need to add any thoughts, actually, Cenk. God damn, are they taking this more serious than they need to?
I hear you, but there is something interestingly symbolic about it, because they present an alternate reality so well and thoroughly that it even gets me to question for a second. And so I'm going to just double check here. YMCA and that song in particular, Macho Macho Man, that's a gay anthem, isn't it?
I believe that for some in that community it has been traditionally.
Yeah, so that's a song about how it's okay. You don't have to worry about hiding who you really are, and you could be out and proud. That's my understanding of it. But like they say it like, oh, Donald Trump, you know, it's about a macho guy like him, and don't feel down. Wait, no, it's not. It's not about that at all. You're celebrating, you know, an anthem for gay Americans, and great, wonderful, but I don't think you know what you're doing. And second of all, think about how wonderfully sad that moment is, where Newsmax is like, "Don't worry, Donnie. I know you're crying, and I know you're down. We're all crying, Donald, MAGA tears. Oh. But don't be too down, Donald. Don't be too down, okay? You're so macho to us, but not in that way. But still, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Why can't, like, he has some random songs that he likes. You know what I like? That there's no real reason why I would like this song, mostly because of how much before I was born that it came out. I love the song Waterloo by ABBA. My aunt used to play it, I guess. It doesn't mean anything to me. Like, if I played it at some point, please don't do textual analysis about what I'm trying to imply. I just like it. It's a good song. I assume Trump liking Macho Man and YMCA is just a quirk of him. I'm not interested in engaging with it because it humanizes him, and I don't like that. But that's all it is. But Newsmax desperately has to maintain this new connection they have with his base. And so one of the reasons I want to cover this is, my prediction is it's gonna get weird over there. They have to admit that Biden won, which they resisted that as long as they possibly could. And that was one of the reasons so many people fled Fox News and places like Sean Hannity to them. But like, how do they keep it? What are they gonna be saying about Trump on the one hand and Biden on the other hand to maintain that position as like the third news network, you know, ahead of Fox News? And I don't know that host. I don't know how significant that host is for Newsmax, but I think it's gonna get weird and wild over there.
Yeah, look, I like the song "The Devil Went Down to Georgia."
Me too.
I don't think he actually went down to Georgia. Although, to be fair, Lynn Wood is there, so maybe, but you don't have to overinterpret the songs we like. Agree.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.